Good morning, everyone. So, I'm happy that we are having the first class. Okay, so what I'm showing here is basically three images. Uh, this is how I would like each and every student or candidate or member in this program would feel like as you're doing the program. So you should be happy that you are completing your level 1, 2, 3 and 4 and obtaining a job. You should be able to progress in your career with whatever you learn here, and you should ultimately be extremely happy. So that is why I'm starting off with these three images here. And let me tell the purpose as to why we are doing this. And before we start off this first training, I would like to say a small prayer and then we can start. Yeah, so that was a small reminder. Okay, so let me say a small prayer. God, we praise you for who you are. We thank you for everything that you've done in our lives. We have complete faith in you and we surrender all our needs to you. Help every student to maximize their learning and obtain a very good job in their life. Be with them and guide them. Amen. So why are we doing this training, and why is it made for free? Of course, I've already created a video which explains about that, and it is there in the description. You can go through that. However, what it means for me and for the team in Radula is that basically we would like to bring glory to the name of God. So anything good that happens in your life because of this training, please give all credit to God. It is because of God that everything is happening. And a free service from Radula through Reach initiative. We have a philosophy that when we help other people, it gives us fulfillment. We have an initiative in our company, we call it as Reach, and you can see more details about it on reach.radula.com. So this training that we are doing is basically because of this initiative. We are an organization which has not yet qualified for the CSR activities or what large companies can do. So this is a very small activity that we would like to do for the community to help one another. So this is the reason why we are teaching programming for free, and we want everyone to complete from level 1 to 4 and find a decent job. Now, that is the purpose of this particular training, and a few may take 1 week, a few may take up to 1 year, and it may be even more in few cases. We are patient, and I would like to personally do this for as long as it takes, and even our team members are also ready to come and contribute when I'm not available. Probably they'll fill in my place. So the only thing that matters is, are you patient enough to be committed and determined to learn and to find a job? And the next thing is, there is absolutely no quick fix. So if you do not know programming, or if you do not like Max, don't expect to learn programming in a week or two. It will take time, and you have to be patient, and you have to keep working hard so that you can complete all the levels, and you will be able to find a very good job. And how is it possible? You have to be disciplined, you have to learn every day. Try to invest at least 8 hours every day if you are not having any other commitments. Well, if you have some other commitments, then try to squeeze in as much time as possible. Improve daily, become eligible for and deserve a good job. So it's all in your hands as to how you use your time. And have a great life, thanking God all along and all through your life. So thank God for everything that's happening. So the schedule, of course, it's also there in the description. So we would be having 4 to 5 classes during the week. It all depends on how my schedule also fits into the different schedules that I've created here for the live streaming. So from Monday to Friday we will have it at these times, and on Saturday we'll have an interactive session on Zoom. So whoever is there in the WhatsApp group will receive the Zoom link. If you're not part of the WhatsApp group, please click on the link below. In future, of course, the group would be onto Telegram, because WhatsApp allows only 250 Telegram allows more. So we would be shifting everyone to Telegram in future, not immediately. And the link is there in the description below. So just click and join the group so that you can receive the interactive session Zoom link also, so that during the Saturday you will be able to ask questions and get your questions clarified. A little background about me. I started learning programming languages since 1995. I was in my 9th class at that time, and by God's grace I was introduced to programming, and I liked and I loved programming so much that I kept learning a lot of programming languages since 1995. Even recently I picked up a new programming language. I did my BE in mechanical engineering and MBA in marketing and finance, so totally different from programming, but this has actually helped me because I now have love towards programming and a passion towards programming, and at the same time I am also having exposure in non-programming fields. So after I completed my studies, I worked in 3 different companies for 7 years, and then I was fortunate enough that I was able to found a company called Radula in 2011. So this is my background. And a little bit about Radula, because that's a little important here. Radula was founded in 2011. We have more than 170 customers as of now. Customers are spread across 9 different countries, and we are based out of Chennai as of now. And we make software, mobile apps, and websites. That is what we do. So this is our main task. We are not into training. We do not do training. That's not one of our services or products. However, we would like to help the society, and that is why we decided that we will do free training. So whatever little time that we could allocate for the society, we decided we will do free training, and it is part of an initiative we started close to a year and a half back called reach.radula.com. So we are not into training. Our company is not into training. We are into developing customized software, mobile apps, and websites. So that's what we do. That's what our company does. So the method of this learning will be through live streaming classes, as it is happening right now for level 1 and level 2. Of course, once you reach level 3 and level 4, you will be part of another WhatsApp group where you will be working on demo projects and on live projects. So that's when you get into level 3 and level 4. WhatsApp group for discussion on doubts and progress. Future, as I said, this WhatsApp group will change into Telegram as the number of members increase. Now we have more than 60 members in the training. So future, obviously, once the word spreads, it can increase. So when it increases, we will be moving on to Telegram, and we would be having one Zoom session, as I said, probably every Saturday, where all the members can ask their doubts as they are learning, and they can get them clarified. And you have to log into training.radula.com to track your time and progress. So that's mandatory in level 1 and level 2. Even level 3, level 4 also, but level 1 especially is extremely important, because that is the only way in which you will be able to track the number of hours that you're putting in learning, and this is the only way through which we also know as to how much time you're actually training. So it's very important to log in your time. In fact, I will also be doing that once I start the training part. So that is how the method is, and we will be tracking our progress. So, and we also have the entire content from the training.radula.com website. It has been put over here. So we will be following this particular methodology. So what I'll do now is I will log into my account on training.radula.com. So if you are wondering what this is, what is training.radula.com, please watch the first 2 videos that we already have put up in YouTube. You can see the first 2 videos in the description. Please go through the first 2 videos, because without doing that you will not be able to access training.radula.com. Yeah, so you have to click on sign in once you come to training.radula.com, and here you can log in with your user ID and password. So how to create this, how to get it activated, how to create your password, everything is there in video 1 and 2, which is there in the description. So please go through that before you come to this stage. Okay, so once you log in, as you are aware, you will see your project coming on the right side. So you'll have to just click on this, and once you enter there, you can see your project workbench over here. So what I'll do is I'll sign into my session now. We call it the session, and I'm going to close this by about 1:20. Okay, so it will be a very short session. Of course, every day it's going to be around 15 to 20 or 25 minutes. So around 9:20, and it will just be an introduction. We are going to do an introduction today. Okay, and I'll click on load success platform. So once I click on this, you will see that the session has started here. Okay, and the timer is also running. So what it means is that every 8 minutes I need to update as to what am I going to do. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do, of course, is I'm going to just look at the content. Okay, why am I going to look at the content? I just press content, and I just typed content and I pressed enter on the keyboard, so it will automatically take it, and the timer is also reset over here. So why should I be looking at the content? The reason is because I have to learn, or you have to learn according to the content. So open the content. Of course, you will find the content on training.radula.com. So just go to training.radula.com, and on the right side is course content. Okay, so click on course content, and you will see the highlights mentioned here, and then click on download detailed course content. So every time you start learning, you have to go through this process so that you can stick to the correct sequence of learning that you're supposed to go through. So click on download detailed course content. So here you will see the entire course content. So what I have done is, since I'll be using this particular Google Sheet for tracking our learning and progress, so I will be using this particular Google Sheet so that it will be easy for me to come back. So you can also create something similar, but I'll leave that to you. Okay. So here, so the first thing is, what are websites? So how should you learn in this course? Because this particular morning classes is going to be only for 15-20 minutes. In fact, we are almost through with around 15 minutes. So how you will be doing is, you will come here and read this particular thing, and if you do not even know what is a website, of course most of you I'm sure know what is a website, but if you do not know the definition of a website, or if you want to really know the technical definition, how I would recommend you do is Google it. That's the best way to learn. Of course, I am going to tell the whole course from top till bottom, and you can imagine how long it is going to take. If I'm going to do for 15-20 minutes every day, you can imagine how many months it is going to take. And the reason why I have decided to start this is because I have received feedback from many that it is better for me to teach this. So even though you being from the first batch, kind of the first batch that is going through this training, this videos I'm sure is going to help many in the future. So I decided to start off, and this REACH initiative that we from Radula wanted to do is of course a long-term initiative. It is not something that we want to start and stop in a year or two, but it's something that we want to carry forward for the rest of our lives. So I personally decided, okay, let me create the videos, though it may take a very long time. Though I'm sure I'll end up creating tens and hundreds of videos like this, because as I said, I'm going to spend only 15-20 minutes. So how can you learn fast? So if you're a fast learner, then of course you can finish the entire course within 2 or 3 weeks. And so if you're a slow learner, it may take you a little longer, but I'm confident that it should not take you as much time as I am spending trying to teach here online. Okay, you should be able to learn much faster. So having said that, you should how you should learn is, let's say it says what are websites. So I would recommend that you probably type the same thing in Google search. So what are websites? Okay, and just read that. If you do not know even what websites are, for example, Wikipedia. Let's say Wikipedia. Let's open that and see what Wikipedia says about websites. So a website, also written as website, is a collection of web pages and related content that is identified by a common domain name and published on at least one web server. Notable examples are wikipedia.com, google.com and amazon.com, and of course even radula.com. So let me see if there is anything else. That's okay. What is hosting? What is a domain? What is a server? Okay, so every single item that's mentioned in this particular line is also part of the scope here. Now that's a reminder for me, that bell sound is a reminder for me that I have other session coming up at 9:30, so I'll be winding up very soon. So what we'll do today is, so here coming to this place, which is counting down fast. So coming to this place, so I'm learning about website. Okay, and so website is basically collection of web pages, so different web pages. So that is, this is a web page. Okay, so if you click another link, that becomes another web page. So if you click a third link, then that becomes another web page. So collection of web pages. Now if you ask me, should we really have many web pages for a website? No, you need not. You can even have a single page, and that's also a website. Okay, so but typically in almost all the cases, websites do have multiple layouts. So for example, if you go to radula.com, you will actually see that it's actually a single page website. This whole layout here of radula.com is actually a single page website. What that means is, when I click on works, it actually goes on the same page to the bottom, and if I click on, let's say, services, it again on the same pages. So website does not mean you must have multiple web pages, but yes, even training.radula.com, for example, the website that you log in, is actually a single page website. So you can have a single page website, is perfectly fine. Okay, and common domain name. What's a domain name? So what happens is, I'm learning about domain. Okay, so what happens is, this particular website is identified through its domain name here. So that is wikipedia.org, or for example in Radula it is radula.com. Okay, now that is the domain name. So now you may wonder, then what is training.radula.com? Okay, the radula.com is the domain name, and training dot, this particular training before the actual domain name is called the subdomain. So if you want to have something different, for example, training is something that Radula does not do as a core activity, but it is something that we would love to do for the society. We would love to create this free, spend a little time of ours in helping many people. So training is a subdomain. So we decided as a company that we will keep training as a subdomain instead of having the training details on the main page. The same thing if you go to reach.radula.com. Okay, that is the initiative that I was talking about, reach.radula.com. That is the place from where you are receiving the training. So even this also we created it on a subdomain. So it's a subdomain, reach.radula.com. Do go through this website. You will see as to why we started all this, and you can see a video that one of our team members has created, and you'll see our story and everything over here. So this is also part of a subdomain. So we are learning about subdomain now, and so coming back to the course content, so we have learned websites. We've also covered a little bit about domain, the name of the website, and also we've covered a little bit about subdomains. So it is not part of this, I just told because it was there. And we'll now see what is hosting. So let us see what is hosting. So it says here, and published on at least one web server. So that is also over here. So what is a server? Okay. So what happens is, when you have the web pages or the files or the text content and the images and the videos and all that, you need to store it somewhere, just like you have your laptop, and if you store your files there, you can open your files. So if you want to open your Word file or Excel file, or your photos or your videos, you have them saved on your hard disk. So when you double click on it, it opens, correct? Or when you click on it, it opens. The same way, when you are actually accessing a domain name on the browser URL, what you are actually doing is you are accessing those files from a server located somewhere. For example, the Radula, our servers are placed in UK, so all our files are stored in UK. So whenever you go to radula.com and you click enter, you are actually pulling up the files from that space, which is a server or a hard disk sitting in UK, and that space is called hosting. Okay, that is hosted. Those files are hosted on a particular server. Okay, that's what happens when you want to access a particular page. You access it from a server. Okay, so you access it from a hosting. Okay, so that is what is called, what is hosting. So if you want to read more about what is hosting, please check. There is though I just covered it in 2 or 3 sentences, hosting in itself is a massive subject. So if you are someone who is planning to get into the hosting related jobs, if you ask me, are there hosting related jobs? Yes, there are. Like for example, Amazon Web Services is one of the leading hosting providers. Microsoft Azure is one of the leading hosting providers. So even Google also provides servers. So when you want to build your career in hosting related industry or career path, you will have to learn how to create hosting on Amazon, how to create hosting on Azure. So if you want to learn that, that's an entirely different subject, and it's a huge subject, because hosting of web pages, hosting of software correctly is important, because if you do not host them correctly, then they will not work well and they will keep crashing. So what is web hosting? I've told it in a very simple way. It is a hard disk where you store all your files and images, which is kept somewhere in any part of the world, and you can access it on your browser through the internet. So that's hosting, the place where you save your files, your website, your software. That space is called hosting. So I put it very simple. I hope you will spend more time in reading it and understanding it. So I've completed websites, I've completed hosting, I've completed domain, and I have also, okay, now what is a server? Now server is basically, so let me mention this here. I think what we can do is probably, instead of putting it as one of the tabs, I would recommend that you make it as a separate window, so that the timer does not stop. I'm assuming this is much better. So let me come to this. Okay. So what is, as I was saying, now what is a server? So maybe we will do that also, and we will close it. Okay. Now what is a server? And how is it different from hosting? Okay, so server or computing. Okay, now what happens is the hosting and server are actually kind of interrelated. They depend on each other. Hosting or the hard disk is part of the server. So for example, if you take your own laptop, your hard disk is the place where the pages are hosted, and your laptop completely, that is with its server, with its CPU, that is the processor, the RAM, and all those other equipments or hardware along with the hard disk, everything together is called a server. So your computer can be told as a server, and your hard disk can be told as a hosting. So when you have a website or a software which is hosted or placed in a particular location, that storing is called hosting, and the complete equipment or the computer that has the hard disk or it runs your the loading of the websites and all that is called a server. Okay, so you can and you must read more than what I just said. Of course, I'm not, as I said, I'm not going to get into details and everything, because it's going to take even longer. So please go through this, read this, and of course if you have a doubt, you can always put it in the WhatsApp group, As I said, the group link is there below in the description. Go through it, join the WhatsApp group, and if you have any specific doubts, you can ask in that group. Anybody can answer. Anyone in the group who knows the answer can answer. I'll also try my best to answer it, or any of my team members from Radula also can answer it if they are free at that time. So during the week from Monday to Friday, it will be mutual learning and self-learning, and during the weekend, of course, it's going to be a interactive session. So we also covered server, and I think with that we'll close today's class. Of course, we took a little longer in telling various aspects of imagination, what I would like you to imagine, purpose, the schedule, and a little bit about me, about Radula, what is the method, what is the progress, and we covered a little longer of introduction today. So we were able to cover up to server. So tomorrow we'll, if at all there is a class tomorrow, of course I'll confirm about the class in the WhatsApp group. So if we have a class tomorrow, or in the next class, I will be covering about website layout, and then probably we'll get into the other elements that are mentioned here. And once we complete this, we will be going into the homework part. We would build a website on notes with concepts learned today. Okay, we will be literally building a website, and we'll see how the website looks like after we've completed everything on the left side. So thank you all very much, and please put your comments in the group, in the WhatsApp group, and we can have a discussion. I really pray and wish and hope that all of you will obtain a great career in your life through this training and with your own hard work, and may God be with you and guide you all. Thank you.